I am standing on the middle of a runway, and this runway has literally just been carved out. So why do they have to do this? Well, this process is essential to make sure this airport is safe. I'm going to teach you everything you need to know. Let's go. So while this machine behind me is literally digging up parts of the runway, there's an aeroplane flying somewhere to come and aim to land at this exact strip. They need to fix it and ready to go, so when this airplane comes and lands, it can land nice and smoothly.
Think about this. The runways at an airport get these massive aircraft that come and literally smash into the ground every single day. And over the years, it creates these tiny little cracks that begin to emerge over the surface. While they may look like small little innocent cracks to begin with, if left unmaintained, these cracks will get bigger and bigger and bigger until they can cause something completely catastrophic. These defects are something that the engineering teams and the teams at the airport need to keep a very close eye on to make sure they never get to that stage.
What sort of defects are you looking at?
They're graded at different levels and types, so you get spalling, multiple cracking, singular cracking. You can have reflective cracking where we've got expansion joints in the concrete, or if you've got, as you all know, AGL, they can reflect through over time.
And how did you identify what patches need to get done?
So we have in September, we have 3 days of runway walking inspections. So we take opportunities on smaller runway closures to take all of our airfield engineers out, and we look at the defects. They grade them from low severity to high severity. That builds our scope for the project.
Once they've understood the areas at the runway that require the most attention, they'll actually map out the whole runway, and they will create a plan that will target it in sections. They will choose different sections of the runway. They will tackle one part at a time to be able to fix these, and they'll mark out the exact parts of the runway that need the most attention. They don't just carve out the whole thing and fix the whole thing. They'll only do the bits that they know there are cracks in.
This runway is literally being cut up as we speak. In the middle of the day, we shut it down about an hour ago. Look, they've already taken off about 50 millimeters worth of surface. They call it planing, right? When they take off that first.
That's right, yeah.
50 mil. Look, he's lined up with the white marking. He lined up perfectly. He's dropping the whole machine, and now the machine is literally digging into the ground. And once it hits that 50 mil, it's gonna start moving. Give it a few seconds. There we go. And now it's just eating away at the runway, and then you'll see the material start flying out the top there. That's insane. This whole process needs to start and finish within the set time period. Otherwise, that plane is going to get delayed. It's going to have a massive knock-on effect. And if we don't do this, then those cracks begin to emerge. You're going to get rocks actually get pulled out from the surface while the plane is coming into land. That piece of rock could be completely catastrophic, and it could cause serious damage. So this process is essential. Make sure we never get to that point where a piece of rock gets loose and potentially causes damage to an aeroplane.
You may be wondering why they're doing this work in the middle of the day. See, usually airports are very busy during the day, so most of the videos you might have seen online when they're resurfacing the runway, they do it at night. But East Midlands Airport is a very different airport. East Midlands Airport mainly deals with cargo rather than people, and because of that, most of the activity happens during the night time. So instead, they shut the runways during the day to be able to conduct work like this, rather than shutting it down at night when it's at its peak activity levels.
So once they've removed that initial layer, the sweeper, this machine comes and it's now just gonna get rid of all of this, any water, any bits and pieces, any gravel, get rid of all of it. And that's what these sweepers are here to do. Once they've swept it, now they're gonna have a clean area that then the next part of the process can begin with. Simply, they need to lay like a type of glue that bonds to the bottom, and so that when they bring the material, the new material, it can stick to it. So they're gonna bring like a glue type material. There's a special machine running around that does this. I'm gonna show you what that machine is. It's called a tack coat. It's not glue. And that's the tack coater over there. Okay, let's watch it work. So there you go. This is the stuff. Look, this is the tack coat. That is so black. Let's see it. Oh my God. That is so precise. For a machine that big, so accurately lay that out. That is very impressive. Once they've covered the edges with the bitumen, then this machine is actually going to come and lay it out across the actual surface there. So look, 3, 2, 1. Is that done? That wasn't it, was it?
Yeah. Yeah.
This tack layer that you're seeing is actually very, very important. I'm about to show you a video of an aeroplane in Australia that was about to take off. And while it was taking off, a little bit of the air that came out the back of the engines managed to get underneath that asphalt layer. And when it got underneath that asphalt layer, the entire block of asphalt lifted off the ground and it completely destroyed the runway. You see, that tack layer is very time sensitive. If you don't put the asphalt down in the right period of time, if the temperatures are too harsh, if it's too cold, if it's too too moist, then that bit of asphalt won't actually stick to the ground and it could result in something like this. This is why activities like this have to be done so accurately in terms of time, making sure that all the variables are controlled, because if you don't control the variables, there's a chance that the job you might have done when an airplane actually comes in, either on a landing or on a takeoff, could peel off that entire bit of asphalt and destroy the runway.
And now, this is where the asphalting takes place. So now they're going to get the asphalt and actually put it down there. This machine and the teams around it are actually laying down the asphalt and resurface this runway. Oh, look at that. The edges getting cleaned up. Very cool. They're just taking a little sample there just to make sure that it's the right depth. It's just making sure that continuously you're getting the perfect amount and pouring it across. Wow. This stuff is steaming hot. It smells so nice. This is epic. This is amazing. Okay, now you got all this excess material lining up the edges. Everyone knows where they need to be, and look, he's now going to collect all the extra stuff. He's probably going to pour it into back over there. Any excess material gets poured straight into there. And then you can see the team sort of edging it all up. And now, look at this, but look at this. First things first, has done the edge. I think his job is just to go over it as many times as possible until they get it nice and flat. It drips water down and keeps it cool and doesn't stick to the surface. I didn't know rollers do that. That's quite cool. So once the rollers have come out, they've actually pressed all of this down. They put these cones out just to make sure that none of the cars come and ruin it while it's solidifying and hardening. And then the next step of the process is, remember, right at the start of this process, they had to actually remove some of those light fittings because they were literally carving out the ground around the light fittings. So they removed the lights. But now that it's done, they now have to recut the hole to put the lights back in. And that's what we're about to watch them do. They're going to literally, what they call, core out the place to put the light in. And we're going to watch them do that right now. This machine right behind me is what they call the coring machine. So you see this? This is the thing that's literally going to cut a hole in the ground to be able to put a light fitting back in the ground. With making sure it's perfectly lined up, because when you do this once, you do not want to do it again. This is so cool. This stuff is literally fresh. This asphalt is just been put down. Now he's measuring how deep they're actually going so that he knows when to stop. Very cool. Wow, look at that. That is a piece of asphalt straight out the runway. And there you go. That's where they're going to put the light fitting. Since they caught it out, they've now come and placed, I don't know what to call it, the metal light holder, for lack of a better term. But look, they created this special mix of like an asphalt slash glue slash concrete. I don't know what it is, but they actually placed it in the bottom here. So you see there's like light brown stuff here. It's like set solid within 20 minutes. So they mixed it up, they poured it in the bottom, and they came and they just set this on top. They had to make sure that it was perfectly aligned. They put this special machine on top, and they had to make sure that it was perfectly aligned with the light head. Now this is a very important part of the process, because if this base is a little bit off center, the light fitting will be pointing that way. And if a pilot is in the sky or that way, they need to be able to actually see this light fitting, or however many kilometers they would be able to see the light from. And they use the other lights on the runway to hit it dead center. So now you're removing the jig because the pot is set. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. There you go. All right, there you go. That bit gets removed, and now we're gonna close this off. Nice. You got the big guns out. Okay, let's go. So this machine over here is literally filling in the cracks of the runway. This will actually increase the lifespan.
Material is a more of a harder material, so it doesn't crack.
It's like a thick glue.
Yeah. This is the overbanding.
This is the overbanding.
But it's coming out about 200 degrees.
200 degrees. Wow, okay. We've just watched him fill in the cracks that appear. Very, very small cracks. But why is that so important? Well, here's the thing. If you have a tiny little crack and water gets into it and it freezes, when the water freezes, it expands and it makes that crack even bigger. If you don't do this, then over time, little pieces of runway will get dislodged. And if your airplane is coming over hundreds of miles an hour and this little piece of stuff gets put into the engine, it's going to cause a lot of damage, and you do not want to be on board an airplane where that is happening. So this little maintenance stuff extends the life of the runway, and it makes it safer so that when you fly, you don't have to think twice. All right, and the last step is where we actually paint the markings again. So take it back to how it used to be. Straight over there. Nice. And we're done. The plate's been put in, and now plug the lights together. You got one of those little RFID tags that tells you all the details of the light. 3, 2, 1. There we go. This was the area that was literally carved out this morning. Look, so about 4 hours ago, we were literally here, the machines were pulling that all out. Then we put the glue down, and then we laid it down. We went over it with a roller. It's set, we cored it out, we put the light fitting back in there, and then we repainted that. All of that, literally, within about 4 hours. That whole process, within 4 hours, was done and dusted. The aeroplane is coming in. The aeroplane lands in about 3 hours. And just like that, we've resurfaced the runway of an airport. That is very, very cool. I have never seen that happen before, where it's eye-opening to see how well the teams work together, just get it over the line so quickly. And just like that, the teams have finished the resurfacing of the runway. These things are essential to make sure the runways are nice and safe. Now you know, if you want to be a part of the team that does stuff like this, just remember, this is a job that you can have one day. Check the links in the description if you're interested, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.